Seeing none, all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, the roll call.
Mayor Maniaci.
Present.
President Short.
Here.
Councilwoman Urban. Here. Councilman Arpolo.
Here.
Councilwoman Corrigan. Here. Councilman Durso.
Here.
Councilman Connolly.
Here.
Councilman Maiden.
Here. Everybody's here. You've all received a copy of last month's minutes. This time, there's no objections or corrections. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Thank you, Councilman. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Communications?
None.
Seeing none. At this time, I'll open it up to public comment. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Couple of different things. We are live streaming again, and I just wanted you to know that. Also, I saw that neither you nor Ms. Urban had filed to be on council again, so I wanted to thank you, both of you, for your service. I know you'll be serving out at least through the end of the year. Though I said that to you 2 years ago, and you couldn't
Here we
stay
are.
away.
Here we are.
But I appreciate the fact that you took up a lot of your time to the borough, both of you. Thank you very much.
Anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, moving on. Reports of borough officers. Mayor Maniaci.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome everybody. I see a couple new faces in the crowd. Hello, Mike Chiche. How you doing, all right? Welcome to a council meeting.
Thank you.
I just have a quick report here about the full-time officers are required to attend a 2-day FBI Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training for active shooters at schools and churches. We'll have a school and church on our borough. We want our officers to be fully prepared in case of a situation happens. They will be attending several times a year. I remember going to this last year. It was very good to learn different ways and what we need to do, and God forbid if something happens, the kids will be safe and sound to get out of there. That's all I have.
Okay, any questions or comments for the mayor? Seeing none, moving on. For our manager's report, Mr. White.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I'd like to start off by thanking Councilman Maiden. He did a great job, I thought, with a couple of snowstorms that happened. There's a lot of accidents on February 20th throughout the county, and Alden reported no incidents related to snow, so Steve, you did a great job getting Cleaver out early for salting and plowing. Something that's come up last month that happens in the winter, we had 2 cars stolen on Glenwood Avenue. Both of them, they went out early in the morning to start their cars up, to warm them up. Just, be more careful. If you don't have the automatic ones, lock your cars, when you leave it running. The last thing, or not last thing, Alden Borough is still receiving many complaints about their tax bills. Mostly residents are confused about their bills and why they were sent to the homeowners. Again, please forward a copy to your financial institution. Call the Alden Borough Tax Collector if you have any questions, problems, or concerns. Borough Council and Mayor Maniaci assured our residents that they will not be penalized for any mistakes due to the printing and delivering of the tax bills. Most of the concerns are for, I guess, their senior rebates. How do they get correct statements? So, Jerry, that's something I think you can do when they call you.
That is correct, and many people have already contacted me, and I filter correct statements to them. If they can email me, it's even better. I can email a copy to them as well.
I had a woman today, little argumentative, and I told her if she calls you, you could get it the correct way so they didn't have to play Rubik's Cubes with the tax bill. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
It's readily available. So
Right.
all they have to do is contact me.
Yep, okay.
And I'm here on Tuesday evening.
I told her that. I said, you're also
Okay.
up here on Tuesday, so you could
Right.
take care of it right then as
And
well.
next week I'm here for 1 hour on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then the following week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Because it's discount period, I want to be available.
Yep, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Very good.
What time would that be, Jerry?
7 to 8.
7 to 8.
That's
okay.
correct.
On Tuesday as well?
On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
7 to 8.
7 to 8.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Update on the Aqua project. Still on schedule until June. Currently, they are roughly 6 weeks ahead of schedule. As long as we don't have a wet spring, it should be done hopefully early May. Update on the parking on Beach, Sycamore, and Magnolia. Residents have complained in the past about other township residents parking on Aldenboro streets. Aldenboro police have ran tags on those streets and have found only one car from out of town. So it really is an issue. Basically, there's a lot more cars in each household today. There is an Easter egg hunt scheduled for Saturday, April 13th at noon. There's also going to be a pancake breakfast sponsored by the American Legion, and both of those are Saturday, 4/13. Pancake breakfast is from 8 to 11 at $7 a person. Sad news to report, Bob Reardon passed away yesterday at home around 4:30 a.m. due to a heart condition. Bob was a very active member of the community. He served on the rec board for 20 years. He was also a school board rep for 12 to 16. So I'm asking council to dedicate a page to Bob out of the minutes. You have to vote on that? You can just do it? Okay. February's council meeting video is up on the website. We are having issues with the coding system. Unfortunately, the web designer has left the company. Currently, we're working on a solution. We're working on the lag time of the video and update to the system. As always, minutes are always available up at the municipal building. That's all I have.
Thank you, John. Any questions or comments?
Yes, Mr. President, I wonder if the manager could say whether that was on South or North Glenwood Avenue where the stolen cars took place. North Glenwood. And one other question, do you have any details on Mr. Reardon's services?
Tomorrow night from 6 to 8, Kavanaugh's Funeral Home in Norwood, Chesapeake Pike. And there's something else Sunday morning. And if you want, I'll look it up for you while someone else's report goes
I
on.
appreciate that very much. Mr. Reardon was a long time.
Very active member.
I think he served maybe 16 years on it.
That's what I thought, 12 to 16 years.
At least 12. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. President, I was just wondering, were the,
Do me a favor.
yeah,
Oh, we know you.
Michael
Could you
Chachi,
Thank you.
133 North Clifton.
There you go.
So the question is, were the cars running? Is that what we understood?
Yes.
They were actually, the keys were in there and they were
The
running?
homeowners went out in the morning, started them up to warm them up, went back in the house. By the time they came back out, they were gone.
Wow,
So a lot of the newer vehicles today, you can start from inside your house.
right, without the key.
Without the key, I would recommend using that system.
That's right.
Okay. Anyone else? See none, moving on. Treasurer's report. Ms. Rankin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm starting my report with the general fund. The beginning balance of cash on hand is $225,225.78. The receipts for this period were $146,326.65. The expenditures for the month were $153,393, leaving us with an ending balance of cash on hand of $218,159.43. Moving on to the state highway fund, the beginning balance of cash on hand is $7,613.79. Our only income was from 73 cents interest in the highway fund. Our expenditures were $97.61, leaving us with an ending balance of $7,516.91. Moving on to the sewer fund, the beginning balance of cash on hand is $318,698.62. Our receipts for this period were $43,384.78. Our expenditures were only $149.88, leaving us with an ending balance of cash on hand in our sewer fund of $361,933.52. Mr. President, at this time I would ask for council's approval to pay the following bills from the following funds. From the general fund, $153,393. From the state highway fund, $97.61. And from the sewer fund, $149.88.
Thank you, Peg. If there's no objections or corrections, so this time we'll entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented and pay our bills.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to accept the report as reported and pay our bills for the month.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on. Engineers report, Mr. Close.
Thank you, Mr. President. Two items to report on tonight. Number one, relative to our NPDES MS4 stormwater permit renewal. At last month's council meeting, I reported that I was going to make a brief presentation about our revised pollutant reduction plan, also called a PRP. However, the revised PRP has taken a few more iterations and a bit more time than we thought. So accordingly, I'll make that brief presentation at next month's council meeting. Number two, relative to our snack bar pavilion project, we've completed our base survey plan. We are in the process of preparing the site plans, and the architect is in the process of preparing the building plans. We're targeting the end of this month to complete the plans and have it ready to advertise for construction. And that's my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, PJ. Any questions or comments for the engineer?
Yes, Mr. President, I wondered when those plans, sketch plans or of the building would be available for public review.
How far are they along? It's
I would like to know that too, Dan. I'm waiting as well. We're just waiting for them to be done.
Yeah, it would be towards the end of the month, I would
okay.
assume so.
The end of this month?
Mhm.
Very good.
Thank you. I presume the markings out there I saw, red would be electric, green is sewer.
That's
Is that
correct.
correct? I didn't see any other colors when I came in tonight, so.
Well, there is blue, and those markings are of the existing utilities. So as is required when we do any construction project, we get the utilities marked out so we know if there's anything going to be in the way of the project, so that we can work around those or relocate if we have to.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing none, moving on to reports of council committees. Public health, Councilman Durso.
Thank you, Mr. President. Quick report this evening. I'll just give you the trash and recycling totals for the month of February. Trash, it was 104.86 tons were collected during the month of trash during the month of February. Recycling, 20.85 tons of recycling were collected in the borough during the month of February. The only other thing I had to mention was B&L, prior to late last month, they were disposing of a lot of our recyclables at the Grace Ferry disposal site, which is now, that was a public, owns that site, they have now closed that. So as a result of that, we're told that, you know, the closest site that they can take it to is King of Prussia. So they're sending trucks out in the morning with recycling to dispose of at King of Prussia, because if they wait till later, they'll never get back in time with traffic up in that area. So if you notice that your trash or your recycling is getting picked up a little bit later, that is the reason. Their trucks are not getting back here till about 8 o'clock in the morning. They're leaving at like 4:30 to go up to King of Prussia. The disposal sites are becoming, you know, starting to close down because of the recycling crisis, I suppose, and plus some are antiquated. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Any questions or comments for the councilman? Yes, Trustee.
Mr. President, so far, I understand that this is an international crisis of recycling.
Yes.
Do we have 100, so far, are we getting 100% of our recyclables recycled? Or is a lot of it being diverted to landfills?
Right now, we are recycling everything that we recycled prior to this crisis.
That's great.
What's occurring after it leaves our hands, that's in the hands of the haulers,
I see.
what they're doing, you know.
And do we know?
B&L is collecting all the recyclings that, you know, the same contract, everything that was before this crisis started, we changed nothing in regards to recycling.
Right.
What was happening is, you know, and you sound like you're knowledgeable of it, China decided that they weren't gonna take our loads of debris anymore.
Right.
And now I hear India's not taking our plastics anymore. So as the other countries around the world are, you know, kind of drawing a line on taking our recycling, they have to find new places to dispose of them, and that's what's driving the price up. And so, you know, from my understanding, some of the recycling goes to trash to steam. Nothing gets really, you know, like some of the recycling gets burnt, trash to steam, like once they get to those countries. So recycling is, you know, it's really in a flux state. You know, they're trying to, you know, come up with new ideas of what to do with
Yeah.
all the waste that we have.
Yeah. But we're not aware of our stuff directly going to a landfill.
No, not our recycling, no.
Okay,
No, our recycling is going to a recycling disposal.
okay. And if I may, one other question. What is the term of our contract for the recycling? Is it 6 months left?
Well, right now, we're at the end of a 6-month extension,
Ah,
so we're exploring other options of where we're gonna go in the future.
okay. We're gonna put out another bid, I guess?
Yes, we're
Yeah.
currently discussing what the specs of those bid,
Mm.
what that bid is gonna be. But we have until June. to-
That's when it runs out.
That's when our extension runs out.
Uh-huh.
Our recycling contract ended at the beginning of the year.
Mhm.
We extended it at the same terms for another 6 months. So, you know, we're working on finding an amicable solution.
I think that's hard. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Seeing none, Highway Department, well, not the department, just the councilman in charge of that.
Yeah, I'm not a whole department.
Oh, yes, you are.
Good evening, everyone. Just a few items to report on. One is we're getting to the end of the winter season, so hopefully all of our events with regards to plowing and salting and what have you are over with. My fingers are crossed. Everything else I can possibly, all the strings I'm trying to pull is to make sure that no more storms. So I don't know how that'll play out, but we're also in receipt of the borough engineer's maps of the historical repairs to our roads in the borough. That's in preparation for our April review with the engineers department, Mike Bernard. And that will review our 2019 program, which most likely will begin in either June or July. So once we decide what that is, I'll be able to report out more on that. From more of the Recreation Board or the Boys Club, Old Boys Club, Old Girls Club, now AYC. We have open baseball registration that is currently open. Clinic 4 to 6 is open. Boys 7 to 16, and then girls 7 to 17. Those age groups are open, and teams are filling fast. I know that Clifton Heights is outpacing us with regards to registration, and both of those boys and girls sides of the sport. And then other important dates for us: Saturday, April 6th will be our field cleanup day. We're targeting April 27th as being our opening day on Carr Field. For the boys' side, girls' side is yet to be determined. And then we are holding our annual baseball tournament beginning the weekend of June 1st, running for the entire week, encompassing all of the teams that play within our Woodbat Baseball League. So more to come on those dates and what those activities are going to entail. But it's definitely a busy time of season for us. And that's all I had to report.
Thank you, Steve. Any questions or comments? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question in reference to the Aqua project. Would that be for the pipes that they're replacing? Would that be for highway?
Well, you can ask the question anytime.
Okay.
We're not that formal.
Okay, so in last month's meeting, it was reported that they've asked for Saturdays. Do we know how often they're going to be out on Saturdays? Who is communicating with them in reference to that?
And that's probably May. And they will be working again this Saturday because they have to tie in the school and the police station. So they're going to be working between Woodlawn and Clifton Avenues. Some of that, the reason why they were working some Saturdays was because the blacktop plants were closed due to the extreme cold weather. So they were trying to stay ahead of schedule. Currently, they're 6 weeks ahead of schedule, which looks like the middle of May.
Okay.
So that's the reason why they're working Saturday, just to stay ahead.
Okay. And for Providence Road, they'll be repaving?
So at the end of the project, the reason they're doing this now is because PennDOT was already scheduled to repave the whole street in August. So Aqua asked if they could come in ahead of time, do the replacement so they didn't have to dig it up after, obviously, that blacktop was replaced. So basically, they're piggybacking on with PennDOT.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Seeing none, moving on, Public Works, Councilman Orapolo.
How's everybody doing tonight? Just in case you want to know, 286 days to Christmas. Yes, get my Santa suit cleaned. We had two issues we had to take care of. right behind the apartments on Oak Lane there. Clogged sewer line again, it was cleaned. And the line outside of here was also set clean. What they found behind Oak Lane was paper towels, wipes, diapers, grease, and other unmentals that were clogging the system again. We did pass out letters to those residents explaining to them, try to refrain from disposing of those items because they tend to clog up the system. They stick to the pipes, and when the whole weather gets really cold, then it congeals in that area with the grease and everything backs up. So we passed letters out to the residents in those areas, explain to them, please refrain from doing that. You know, it's taxpayers' money that we're spending to clean those drains. So we just try to take care of that. And also to other residents, please refrain from putting those things in your toilets in that area. If you don't think it's going to flush, put it in the trash. It'll save you some headaches. And also, if you notice your storm drains blocking up, like during rain and everything, please give me a call and give me where it is clogged, so I can get there and get it cleaned at that moment. If you just call and say it's clogged and you don't tell me where, then I'm driving up and down Alden trying to find out. I know one always will be, but passing Magnolia, I've seen some areas that were kind of clogged. So just give me a call and I can address it, and just give me what corner where it's located, the streets, and that's about it.
Okay. Thank you, Sal. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, moving on. Public Safety, Councilwoman Corrigan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the Fire Marshal's report for the month of February. There were 14 events reported to us, all resulting in no damage, and they were all responded to Collingdale Fire Companies 1 and 2 for the month. And during the month of February, also Collingdale Ambulance and other EMS services responded to 22 calls within the borough. And then there is a report from the 13th of January at 120 North Clifton Avenue. There was a fire earlier in January, that there was $8,500 in damages reported, $3,200 in building or contents, for a total damages worth $117,000. The fire was due to unattended cooking in the house. And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Mary Jo, any questions or comments for the councilwoman? Seeing none, moving on. Law and Ordinance, Councilman Conley.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the month of February, 30 building permits were issued with a construction value of $120,358.55. There were 2 transfer inspections and 17 midterm inspections. And just 2 quick things. We received plans for the interior renovation of the Giant Supermarket to include the produce and frozen food sections, mostly moving of the display areas, signage, and relocation of electrical and lighting. The work schedule will be done between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. There's no contractor yet, but the plans are here for review and comment. And we've been contacted by a storage company who is looking at the Phillips property at the corner of Pennsylvania Avenue and Springfield Road. The preliminary proposal is for complete demolition of the existing structures and construction of a climate-controlled storage facility open to the public. The process will require land development approval, but the use is permitted by right in the industrial district. We're looking forward to a second meeting with the developer this month for additional details. That's all I have.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions or comments for the councilman? There you go on that. Yes, sir. Could you give us your name and
Peter on Woodlawn.
what number on Woodlawn?
Sorry?
What house number on Woodlawn?
43.
43. All right, thank you. Go ahead.
That's all you guys want is a storage unit, from your discussions, that we're looking to get a storage unit here, or does that go up for?
Oh, no, we weren't specifically looking for a storage unit. The owners of the storage units came into us. And the property was up for sale, and they wanted to know, they give us their proposal, and it looked favorable compared to what's there. Does that answer your question, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, the other one too is, do you guys know of other towns? I've heard the Clifton factories, that they're all getting knocked down for storage units too. Is there, do you guys know of anything of that?
I haven't heard, you mean where the tower is over there?
Or the Kryptonite swing?
The last I heard of that, they were looking possibly to make it into apartments, loft apartments type things. I haven't heard the storage unit stuff.
That's it.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Well, all right,
are
go ahead.
you aware of anything going on with the Mandy's space in the, has anyone communicated that to the council?
Not as far as I know.
I thought they had a renter in there, because I know Giant wanted to use it if they got the liquor referendum
Right.
passed. But I don't know who's gonna be going in there, and if they still have that renter available.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. President, two questions. Is there a status update on the gas station at the corner of Providence and Oak? They were doing pretty well, and they seem to have stalled once again.
Yeah, I got tired of reporting on that, so I didn't. Yes, renovations have all been halted. That's the only report I have. Apparently, they have no desire to reopen the market or gas pumps anytime soon.
Follow up on that, is there a limit to the time of the permit that they were issued to do that work?
1 year.
And then they'd
Did you
have
get
to
that?
reapply? Yeah, I
Did you
heard
get
1 year, and then they'd have to reapply. My other question concerns the storage unit possibly going to land development. Will there be a meeting of the planning commission for that? And if there is, how will the public know where and when it's scheduled for?
Well, we would advertise it and put it on the usual
Understand.
places.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Seeing none, moving on to finance, Councilwoman Irving.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a short report tonight. Happy to report that our direct deposit for our borough employees hopefully will go into effect next week. I know I've reported on that previously. No major expenditures this month other than our payment to B&L Disposal in the amount of $15,012.33. In regards to our balances and our reserve accounts, for our general reserve, there's $503,330.10. In the sewer reserve, there's $248,750.96, and in our police capital reserve, $2,086.11. And that will conclude my report.
Thank you. Is there any questions or comments for the council? Yes.
I would thank the councilwoman for reading the balances this month. Thank you.
I knew it was coming.
Anyone else? Seeing none, moving on, the solicitor's report. Mr. McLean.
I don't have any action items this evening, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any questions or comments for the solicitor? Seeing none, moving on, unfinished business? No? New business, caucus will be held on Tuesday, April 2nd, up at the municipal building, and it'll start at 7:30. The regular council meeting will be on Wednesday, April 10th. That'll be here at 7 o'clock in the Rhino Recreation Center. At this time, we'll open it up to privileges of the floor.
Yes, Mr. President, there's one other activity that's going on currently. You may have remembered the McCann family. They actually don't live in Alden, they live over in Upper Darby in the State Street area, and they had a devastating fire in July of last year. And several of the groups in town have put together a fundraising event for them, a beef and beverage at the Legion Building on the 30th, $25 a person, and for the couple Maddies. Mal and Jordan will be catering, and we are delivering circulars. They're out there now. Maybe not everybody has got one. I have some in my hand if anybody would like to get one. We're trying to help offset the cost because tragically their homeowners insurance had lapsed. They had just paid the house off the mortgage in June, and they had a lot of medical issues with both Mrs. McCann, who has cancer, and her father, who eventually passed away in October or September, I believe. So they're working, they've been demolishing the house and they're working to get it back up again, but they need money to purchase equipment to go back in, so that's what we're hoping to help them with.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
William McNally, 420 Willows Lane. As you,
As you know, I'm a crossing guard. And
We
that's
do know
not the
that.
only thing we do. We keep our eyes and ears open. One day, I observed a young man putting trash out. 2 minutes later, there's a fire blazing under his mother's truck. Thank God, John McBlain come running out with a fire extinguisher and put the fire out. So we just want to let you know we're always watching.
But he put the fire.
I ran like hell.
Now, didn't you go one way? Didn't you go away from the fire while Mr. McLean came towards the fire?
Well, didn't he
So
be
our
there?
solicitor does more than just. That's what you're saying, right?
I want to know why he was up so early. He must have been watching me. He ran my house.
He's not the only one watching.
Mr. McNally did a great job. He alerted the resident that the fire was there. It was an incredible fire.
Yeah,
for,
man. And it's funny, the lady said, I ain't opening the door. I don't know who you are. I said, well, your car's going to burn up.
Can I have one more second?
Yeah, sure. You all done? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot to report this. I know this was reported probably in November about the out-of-state guys coming in, the paving contractors. Well, it has happened today, and I was actually witnessing it with one of our police officers. There are scams out there where a guy comes by with a truckload of blacktop. He was riding around town looking for driveways that were in bad condition, walking up to the addresses. He was giving them a huge break on the price. Well, the blacktop has been sitting in that truck for hours. So it is a scam. What's going to happen is you're going to regret your decision because the blacktop is generally too cold to be placed and compressed properly. It's much like concrete that hardens too soon. It will quickly crack and pop from the base. So if somebody comes up to your house looking to sell you a cheap product such as blacktop, it's a scam. Thank you.
Okay, on that same note, though, I mean, that's why we require permits for these things.
Right.
That we can ensure that the job is done properly and not by these fly-by-night people that come in.
We were actually tipped off by a resident who came up to the borough to tell us somebody stopped at their house. They wanted to know if they needed a permit. And that's when Officer Fish and myself went out and found the people.
And if I get it right, no one's allowed to come around and solicit work at your house?
Correct.
Is
Well,
that
we
correct?
have,
So
we have an ordinance that requires them to have a solicitation permit for commercial purposes.
And we check the insurances and everything to make sure that they're a legitimate company. So if anybody comes and solicit work for your house without the proper credentials, call the borough and we'll get it straightened out. Anyone else?
Thank you, John, for moving that sign. That big sign you moved.
Oh, you're welcome. I do more than just the borough manager.
Okay, anyone else or purchases of the floor? Okay, seeing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn tonight.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming.